Good morning out there, everyone. This is Toni Dunker, along with Rick, the producer, filling in for Brady while he's out chasing some cows and doing some cowboy work. So hang along with us today. It's my rookie run, and we'll do our best to bring you updated news and the market quotes real time because we are live. It is Tuesday, April 8th. As I said, I'm Toni Dunker. I work out of the Quincy office for advanced trading, and I've been with advanced trading since back in 2001. I work with farmers, I work with livestock producers, I work with end users. It kind of runs the whole gamut. I'm excited to be here with you today, filling in for Brady, which are really big shoes to fill in for, but hopefully we'll run right along and get you the latest and greatest news that's happening out there right now. So thank you for tuning in with us. Drop us a comment. If you have a question, make sure you ask. I spent 10 years in the classroom, so never feel like a question is silly. Just ask the question because probably others are thinking the same thing. So first of all, let's turn to LaSalle Street and give you a rundown of what's happening in the marketplace. And this morning, I will tell you that this is the first time I've opened my quote screen up and seen almost everything green. And at 8:30, everything was green. So let's run down through here. May corn up 1 3/4, 466.5. December corn up 1 3/4, 447 3/4. May beans up 17 3/4 at $10.50, back to the 10 handle. November beans up 12 at $9.93 1/4. We also have July bean oil up 15 at $45.66. We have July soybean meal up $3.90 at $2.99.40. We have May Chicago wheat up 1 1/4 at $5.37 3/4. July Chicago wheat up 1 1/2 at $5.52. We have May Kansas City wheat. They're the only red on my screen right now. May Kansas City wheat down 1 1/2 at $5.57 3/4. July Kansas City wheat down 1 1/2 at $5.71 1/2. We have May feeder cattle up 267. Finally seeing a little rebound in the livestock markets this morning. May feeders at 273.97. November feeders up 290 at 276.70. June fats up 215 at 196.32. October's up 247 at 191.82. We have April hogs, which we are just about a week away from April hogs going off the board. So they're really close to what the index is trading right now. April's up 7 at 87.87. The June's up 125 at 91.30. We have May crude oil up 37 cents, back with a 6 in front of it, 61.07. We have May heating oil up 1.8 at 209.82 right now. We also have the June Dow index up 13.95. All of the indices are higher this morning. June is showing 52.87, up 190. We have the NASDAQ up 718 at 18,286.75. The Russell Index is up 53.40 at 1876. Bitcoin also up 1930, 80,705 on the May contract. June gold up $50, 30.2460. May silver up 80 at 30.45, and the dollar index is the other lower thing on my screen this morning, down 142 at 102.83. So lots of information out there right now coming at us. I want to start off with just a quick headline since we went through the markets already this morning. And we had an 8 a.m. export announcement. It's really good to see those export announcements coming in again. That's something that we're going to have to continue to watch. But we had Spain in there buying corn this morning, 240,000 metric tons. It feels good to be seeing exports reported. Want to go through just a little bit of what happened yesterday in the marketplace. I felt like it was a really interesting day, especially if you were watching the markets. We had some information that came out that indicated we were going to see a hold on tariffs for 90 days. It was a real head fake to the market because all of the markets had opened lower yesterday, with a few exceptions. And then we saw those markets take off and run higher. And it was a really quick reaction. That just tells us that the markets are anxious and looking for any positive news on trade. Unfortunately, that must have been some fake news that got put out there, because very quickly we saw a note that came out from the White House, and they said that is fake news. And we are still, negotiating and working with our other countries, about 50 other countries right now, to get better trade in place for the United States. So these markets are all oversold for the most part, and they are looking for any positive news to, embrace and allow these markets to run back to the higher side. So, with all of that said, you know, I get a lot of questions from people when we have days like yesterday where the market was down and then it was up. And that question usually comes about by people asking, "Were you really busy today?" And the interesting thing is, most of the time on days like yesterday, we aren't super busy with our customers calling, because those customers are in a good spot. They've been working on their marketing, they've been putting orders in place, and they've been executing when we've had opportunity to do so. So most of the time, it's not our customers that are calling when the markets get like that. Many times it's people that maybe haven't gotten enough done on marketing, and we're sure glad to help you on days like that. But generally, we're not super busy during that time frame, because we've got a plan in place, and we've been enacting that plan for several months, whether it's on grains or on livestock. So, um, on to some more of the news events for this week. Yesterday afternoon, we had the USDA put out their first planting progress and crop updates for the season. We'll start getting those every Monday afternoon. They come out about 3:30 in the afternoon. And yesterday, it just showed that we had and Rick, you could pop up the maps there, and let me get that sized up. I'm not as quick on this stuff as what Brady is generally, but uh, U.S. corn planted progress. We're just out here getting started, but you can see down in the south and in the Delta area, we've had really pretty good progress. Nationwide, we're about 2% planted versus 3% last year. We do have some problem areas down there in Kentucky, Tennessee, where we had all those heavy rains this week, and you're going to see that show up when we look at the conditions slide when we get into wheat. Soybeans planted. It's always interesting to me around here. The last few years, maybe up to 5 years, we've been planting a lot of beans first before we hit corn. And yet USDA doesn't really put out that bean number as early as what they do the corn number. So it's kind of interesting to watch that and see how this unfolds. But I think you're going to see Illinois, Missouri, and the states around us here really ramp up bean planting first before they will ramp up corn planting. Some of them don't. Some of them still go corn first and then follow up with beans, but that's been a trend that we've been seeing the last several years. The next slide that I wanted to look at here were winter wheat conditions. And this map is kind of all over the place, but it's just giving you a comparison to where we were at last year versus where we're at today. And you're going to notice down there some significant lower change numbers in that Kentucky and Tennessee, well, not necessarily Tennessee, but in the Kentucky area. And I think a lot of that has been attributed to those heavy, heavy rains that they received over the weekend. So this is something that'll come out every Monday afternoon, and I'm sure Brady will be filling you in on that on Tuesdays and taking a look and watching the progress as it rolls along. what's the progress like in your area? Shoot us a comment, shoot us a text, send us an email, and let us know how things are progressing in your area. The next little bit of news that was out yesterday were the export inspections, and I feel like this is something that we all need to be watching very closely here in the coming weeks, just to see how our product is moving out of the country. But yesterday morning, we saw corn export inspections at 62.3, which was a little bit lower than the prior week, but it was above last year. Beans we saw at 29.55, which was about the same as the prior week, but it was definitely above last year's number at this time. And then wheat was kind of the downer yesterday, 12.3, which was down from the prior week and down from last year's 18.9. On Thursday morning, and I'm not sure, Rick, if we have something about this, but on Thursday morning, we will get the monthly WASDA report. That will be released at 11 a.m. And we just have average trade guesses out there showing U.S. corn carryout at 1.51 billion bushels. The bean carryout estimate is at 379, and the wheat number at 825. We'll also see updated expectations for Brazil and Argentina. This looks at the world supply levels and the demand levels, and we will have that report out on Thursday morning with follow-up Thursday afternoon at 1:30, just to break down on that whole report. So make sure you tune in for that. I think also one of the things that I wanted to highlight and talk about a little bit, just from my point of view, and Rick, you might run that LRP video real quick, but we've been kind of busy even this morning and yesterday. Brady and I have both had opportunities, and Kayla joins us in this LRP venue, but we've had opportunities to be managing these LRP floors that we have had. And with this break in the market, both cattle and hogs, we were able to actually go in there and protect some equity that we have on our LRP positions and or put positions. We've also been busy maybe making some moves from futures that we had sold. I know I was in there this morning changing over from some futures that are sold, collecting equity off the table, and buying some puts. So if you want more information, or if you want some help taking a look at some things that you can do in addition to just hedging your production, make sure you reach out and give us a call, because we're happy to go through that and talk about what the opportunities are when the market is making big moves such as it has. It feels pretty good to have some equity in the pocket and money taken off the table, but yet still have that floor in place by making some moves in the marketplace. So those are some things that we can help you with. Make sure that you reach out and ask that question. So Rick, I was just going to check and see if there were any comments that we need to address this morning. Oh yeah, the good luck charm. You must be the good luck charm this morning. That's what we all need. It's not just me. I think these markets are definitely looking for any type of good information, good news to help us get going the right direction again. I will say it's kind of interesting to watch how these negotiations have happened, and there's a real art to negotiating, and I feel like the people that we have in there right now probably are some of the best negotiators in the world. Several years back, I had the opportunity to be in the Illinois Ag Leadership Program, and we spent one whole seminar just working on negotiations with several experts. And what an interesting experience that was. So if you're looking for some reading material, you might pick up the book, The Art of Negotiating. I think it's pretty informational. It's an older book, but yet I think it all still hangs in there. So one thing I wanted to point out in these negotiations that we've been seeing is the fact that Japan came to us really quickly and wanted to get started on negotiating. I think those are all very positives, and hopefully we can get resolution with some of these countries very quickly and get back going. But to say that we needed to have this done is a real understatement. If you go and look at how uneven the playing field has been for tariffs on our agriculture products in particular going into other countries, it's unbelievable when you really start to peel the layers of the onion back on how much disadvantage we have had the last many, many years. It's not just been recently, but it's been several years in the building. So to think that we can just plop this out there and have immediate results, I don't think any of us thought that that could happen, especially those of us that are in agriculture. But I feel like hopefully somewhere down the road, this is going to build much better relationships for us and get us on more of an even playing field. So with all of that said, I do want to invite you to make sure you tune in tomorrow morning with Brady. He's going to be back in the chair. I think he's out there. He must have had time to throw a few comments up there. I know he's been busy. You know, we've been trying to get Brady to wear a GoPro while he's out there doing that work, but he hasn't given in to our want to have that happen yet. So we're waiting to watch that. Also, for those of you that are ATI Pro Media subscribers, Dr. Cruz, that Pro Media content, premium content went out this morning. So make sure that you catch that. He and Brady broke down some numbers yesterday afternoon, and that was sent out to our Pro Media subscribers. So thank you to all of you that are Pro Media subscribers. One other thing I wanted to point out for those people that are doing the Pro Media subscriptions, you also get morning comments, and in those morning comments, it has our research department's information and the thought of the day. And I really like those. I know Brady uses those quite frequently in the mornings when he's in here. But if you are a Pro Media subscriber, you'll get that in your inbox every morning. Dr. Schonkweiler gets out there like, you know, his comments come in usually around 5:30 or maybe even earlier, depending on his arrival at the office. But he gets there very early in the morning. So anyway, thank you for tuning in today. I've had a lot of fun doing this, but I'm really sure that Brady is ready to get back there and get in the wheelhouse starting tomorrow morning. Have a good day, and hopefully these markets stay where they're at and keep going higher. Thank you.